Welcome to ProPractice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode is based on the Schubert Impromptu Op.90 No.2 in E-flat major. This piece was written in 1827, about a year before Schubert's death, and it was written along with the other set of impromptus, Opus 142. This one I've received so many requests on, so I'm going to take a break from Chopin, which if anyone's familiar with my channel, you know I love Chopin. I've been doing a lot of that because I competed earlier this year in the National Chopin and the International Chopin preliminaries. And so, but we're going to take a break from Chopin tonight and do a little Schubert. I'm just going to go ahead. I've actually never performed this, but I've taught it so many times that we'll go over tips and tricks and ideas and interpretation to make you as efficient as possible in your practice sessions. So I'll just give you a little taste of this. Okay, so I'm sure everyone's familiar with this. The first thing I want to talk about is touch. A lot of people, especially the students that I've taught this to, come to me with heavy touch, and it sounds very uncharacteristic of the light, airy, fleeting quality that it requires. So it sometimes sounds like this. Okay, first of all, I actually taught this in a lesson this morning, and one thing that we went over is making sure that you subdivide the first note, the first quarter note of the pickup bar, into three. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and those triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, that's really important. If you want to linger a little bit, that's okay, but nothing like this. It's the same thing as this Chopin etude. Everyone does this. It sounds very awkward. So subdivide for the perfect amount of time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's go over this fingering. I actually wrote this in before I started recording the video because I wanted to have it ready for you guys. In bar 3, you can use whatever fingering you want that's comfortable, but for me, I like some of this weird inverted fingering. It seems to really help me to stick with 1, 2, and 3. Those are my strong fingers. My wife was in a master class with Martin Cannon down in Hawaii, and she was like, you know, I was having the hardest time getting this piece really good, this Bach piece. There was this little passage, and he sat down and he changed my fingering, and he always said, use 1, 2, and 3 as much as possible. And sure enough, she's like, after years of struggling with that, my first or second try, I got it just right. So here we go with the fingering in bar 3. 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now here you could use 3, 2, 3 or 3, 1, 3. I'm going to use 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, so 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And the way I would practice that, because that's real easy, I've seen so many students get screwed up. As you saw, I even messed up that a little bit the time before. Doing that kind of thing, a great way to practice is practicing add-on from the end. And always go to the next beat. Okay, and now let's go to the one before that. So I'm just going by beats, by groups of 3. Okay, let's go to the previous group of 3. So the downbeat of bar 4. And I'm still experimenting. I don't know if I like 3, 1, 3 or 3, 2, 3. So I think 3, 2, 3 will be a little less confusing. Okay, let's go to the one before that. Okay, the one before that. Okay, and the one before that. Okay, now let's talk about touch. I had mentioned that a little bit earlier. If you watch my Pearly Sound video from Josh Wright Piano TV, you just type in YouTube, Josh Wright Pearly Sound, or Pearly Touch. I can't remember the exact title of the video. I go over this extensively in that video. We're going to touch on it right now. One of the great pianists that I've always admired for his touch is Murray Pariah. I guess no one can really argue with the fact that Murray Pariah has a really wonderful, even beautiful touch. All the professionals I've ever worked with, when they're talking about touch, so many of them refer to Murray Pariah, you know, like his Mozart. Okay, so how do we get that pearly touch to sound like that? First of all, what I want you to think about is there is a Baroque term called purling, and has to do with lifting the keys a little bit early, so you're not actually making physical connections. I know that's probably not the exact definition of purling, but this is my understanding of it. And what you do is you can practice finger staccato, and then a little faster, now a little faster. Yeah, and sure enough. Now, according to your tempo, let's say that you're not comfortable in that tempo. You can still purl a little bit. So you wouldn't be going like this, though. That would be awkward. Let's touch on one more thing before we move on here. One thing I want you to focus on is the direction of the line and putting in little bits of shape to make things very lively. And the person who I think, the two people who I think do this better than anyone really in the entire world are Sergei Babayan and Daniel Trifonov. Daniel is one of Babayan's students. I've had the great privilege of taking some lessons from Mr. Babayan, and he always has encouraged me to put flavors into every little part of the piece, to never let anything stagnate. And so let's go over this. Even just that, just very slight. See how much more appealing that is than just to put a little. Okay? Same thing here. Again, it's not, you're not killing it, but it's not boring. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Thank you so much for watching. As with all ProPractice videos, the first section is free. If you'd like to view the rest of this video, or if you'd like to learn more about ProPractice, just click on the link on this screen or on the link in the comments section below. Thank you so much for your support of ProPractice.